Hey guys, Meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this afternoon mountain weather update to radar first into Colorado, ground zero for what's going to be our classic March setup here with this snowstorm. And on radar now you can see some rain and thunderstorms across Denver and the Front Range. Way too warm right now for snow, but that's going to change tonight and overnight. Some snow just starting to develop over the foothills, the Continental Divide, and also the I-70 corridor. So the storm will mature overnight tonight and throughout the day tomorrow in southeast Colorado, somewhere around the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma. That is a preferred special setup position where it tends to maximize your upslope flow, the orographics, west of Denver, near the foothills, above 6,000 feet, running all the way up to the top of the Continental Divide. That's where we're going to see the heaviest snow accumulation. All right, here's what I'm seeing this afternoon. So our classic storm is on track. In some places, the numbers have trended up slightly to a higher amount. I'll show you those coming up. This storm, again, will maximize our orographics. And Colorado, 1 to 3 feet or more. There may be a couple pockets of more than 3 feet of grand total accumulation between tonight and the morning of 3:15. Tetons in the Wasatch, you may have a little bit of snow tonight, but your next storm system, you're going to have to wait until the pattern changes, 3:21, 22, and 23. So there's a long stretch ahead of just waiting. In the Northeast, you've got rain tonight, 3:15 and 3:17, and potentially some snow on 3:18. Let me take you back, and I want to show you water vapor satellite imagery this afternoon. You can almost see the spin right here with our area of low pressure. Well, again, that's going to position itself down here, southeast Colorado, panhandles of Texas, Oklahoma, and begin to mature. There's another big storm system behind it. This is part of the pattern shift for 3:20, 3:21, 22, and 23. That'll be dropping south across the country during that time period. In fact, here's the forecast jet stream. Big broad trough over working its way through Utah into Colorado and New Mexico as we speak to support the development of this storm system. By tomorrow, the storm is maturing, obviously. We've got heavy snow over the state of Colorado, but then look where the low is. The upper low is actually retrograding back to the west over parts of Arizona, southern Utah, and also Nevada, and potentially parts of southern California. Here's 3:15, and it just sits there for days. And it just sits and spins until it dies. Look at the pattern up in the Pacific Northwest and BC. You'll probably have a few days worth of high pressure. And then that's going to break down by the time we get into 3:19. Watch the jet come down. It buckles. It brings a storm in, 3:20, 3:21, 22, and 23. And it will drop all the way down into Utah, Wyoming, and Colorado during that time period. All right, forecast radar, 5:30 today. You've got rain showers in green across Denver and the Front Range, snow in the foothills and on top of the Continental Divide, running back over the top of the western slope as well. Okay, now by tomorrow morning, it changes over to snow. It should already be snow by tomorrow in Denver at 5280 with heavy snow west of I-25 and also south across the Palmer Divide. And of course, the foothills and the Continental Divide will be getting heavy snow accumulation. Significantly less, though, in northern Colorado, around Fort Collins, Greeley, Loveland, significantly less up there. Okay, so then, by the time we get into the afternoon, there's your setup. There's Friday morning, leftover snow, but it's all going to the south. It's dropping down through southern Colorado, northern New Mexico, where we're going to get some heavy snow accumulation. But look at the low starting to move back to the west with snow for southern Utah and New Mexico at that point, and it's going to hang on for days in that area, throwing some snow back into southwest Colorado at times. Look at that. Still there by 3:18. 3:19, 3:20, and then we start to see the pattern shift. Here comes the next storm system dropping from north to south with the northern branch, and like I said, that'll probably drop all the way down into Utah, Wyoming, and Colorado, 3:21, 3:22, and 3:23. All right, latest grand totals map looks like this. So by late 3:22, obviously the numbers in Colorado are big with 1 to 3 feet or more. Northern New Mexico, about a foot of accumulation, about a foot for Bryan Head and Snowbowl because that low is going to sit there and spin for a long time. About a foot coming for the Tetons, 5 to 8 in the Wasatch. Now those numbers largely come 3:21, 3:22, 3:23. Same goes for most of Montana. You're going to have to wait for those numbers. Pretty good numbers for interior BC. Those come 3:20, 3:21, 3:22. Similar forecast for the Pacific Northwest. So there is a stretch of time where we're just not going to see much happening. And it's a waiting game. All right, latest forecast for Denver on the Front Range, Foothills, and Continental Divide. So Denver down below, you're looking west up through the Foothills towards the Continental Divide. The numbers are big. I mean, a foot, in downtown Denver with more to the west of I-25, significantly less in northern Colorado, but obviously the bullseye is the Foothills, where we're going to see potentially over 3 feet of accumulation in some areas. This is what we'll typically see with these big upslope storm systems. The foothills get nailed, and then the numbers drop off slightly as you approach Loveland, A Basin, and Keystone. And then west of the Continental Divide, it's significantly less accumulation, looking at probably 6 to 12 inches through Summit County, over to Vail, Breck, Aspen, and Snowmass. But in the heart of the foothills, it's going to be big. Okay, let's look at it by time period. So rest of today through tomorrow, the numbers start to tick up in Colorado, and just tiny leftover amounts in Wyoming and Utah. Next time period, 315 through 317. Some light accumulations remaining across the central mountains of Colorado and the Front Range. Heavier accumulations in southern Colorado, northern New Mexico, and obviously southern Utah and parts of Arizona. But look at the Pacific Northwest, northern tier, and BC. It's high and dry. Nothing going on. Last time period, 318 through 322. Not much happening until we get to about 320, 321, and 322. That's when most of these numbers and this accumulation actually occurs as that next storm drops in from north to south with the jet. Okay, last stop is the northeast. Again, temperatures just remaining awfully warm early in the period. If there's any snow potential, and there's some here, it's probably 318 or even later down the road. All right, guys, we'll end on the grand total map here for this afternoon. Again, lots of big numbers in Colorado coming all the way through the morning of 3:15. It'll be very interesting to watch this unfold. Again, just a classic March setup here in Colorado with that Albuquerque low panhandle hook type storm system position that we've seen so many times in the past do this exact same kind of thing. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in here. Always appreciate it, and take care.